Go.
Hey guys, this is Matt Miller. We're here with another game of Bromance WarGaming. Chris is operating the iPad right now, but I'm going to go over the scenario first. This is a scenario that we have for Redstone Rumble in Huntsville, Alabama at the end of, middle of September, I guess. And it's standard battle line, not battle line, Blood and Glory. Standard Blood and Glory, except with a couple exceptions. Standard deployment, 9 inches away, 15 up. But we pick one core unit. I picked my Corsairs. He picked his Iron Guts. And we roll on a table. On a 1, they get... They've been experimented on. On a 1, they get Frenzy. On a 2 through 5, they gain Armor Piercing. On a 6, they gain Hatred and Devastating Charge. So none of that was very exciting for a Dark Elf player, except the Armor Piercing on the Corsairs, because I pretty much had everything else. He also got Armor Piercing on the Iron Guts. So to go ahead and start off, I've got 2 identical units of 12 repeater crossbowmen. This is a level 2 wizard with the Lore of Fire. She rolled up Flame Cage, and I swapped Flame Storm, which is terrible against Ogres, for Fireball. This is 12 Corsairs with full command and repeater handbows. There's 5 Harpies, 40 Warriors with full command, 10 Cold One Knights with full command, or with Standard and Champion, rather, no musician. 10 Cold One Knights with Standard and Champion, no musician. This is a Sorcerer's Portal back here. This, if I can pick it up, this is my BSB. This is my non-BSB on a Dark Pegasus. That's the Legion of Everblight Sorceress on a Hellion model. And this is my BSB on a Dark Pegasus. His flag came off. I haven't put it back on. That's a Fiend with Dark Pegasus wings and a Chaos Lord riding it. This is my Dreadlord on a Black Dragon. That's the Winged Nazgul model with some modifications. And this is my War Hydra. The reason I have different models is because I'm playing Cult of Slaanesh, and so everything's trying to be all Serpentine and Slaaneshi. Alright, we'll go to Chris's army.
Hey, well, I'm Chris Johnson, Warhammer Gaming. Again, this is just kind of a practice scenario for the Huntsville, Alabama tourney we're talking about doing in September. Introducing my units to you. Starting on my left, this is a giant monster. He's kind of new. I'm kind of fielding him for the 2nd or 3rd time, learning how to implement him into the game.
And he did good the first couple times?
I did, yes. He did box the tree man out in 2 combat terms and then ran him down, which is kind of fun.
Excellent. Alright, what else we got?
I'm going to give you the front line here first, since it's easier to discuss. I do have 10 Noblars, including Trappers, with full command. I actually needed to make up points. I wouldn't normally run a champion for any reason in that unit. But I'm running it now really just to kind of make up a point difference.
Right.
And there's 3 identical units of those. These are painted.
Right, but the painted ones aren't any different.
They aren't any different. I just got to those first.
Okay.
I do have 2 Saber Tusks.
All right.
Here they are.
All right, and I'll pan back over here.
There they are. And I'm going to use them for fun purposes there. I don't like running them in 2s. Really like running them in 1s. That's fun.
I think most people are like that.
Oh, good, good. On my back line here, this group is my man-eaters. I have 6 of them. 3 of them are legit man-eaters. I am putting Iron Guts and Ogres in there to make it up. I am kind of new, so I don't have everything that I need. But they do have full command. Front line has single pistols. Back line, 1, 2, 3, they have great weapons. The character is my Bruiser. He has an Iron Fist heavy armor, so he will actually attack on a...
And that's your Battle Standard Bearer, right?
He is my BSB, yeah.
Okay.
The 2 tricks that the Man-Eaters have, I forget if it's Motley Crue or if it's the other rule. Been there, done that.
I think it's been there, done that. I think Motley Crue is the one that allows them to have different armament.
I think you're exactly right. So my been there, done that is Poison and Swift Stride.
Okay.
And they do have heavy armor, and I think that is that unit as a whole. Just bought my new Mournfang. Really excited about that.
I'm sad that they haven't been painted yet, because the rest of your stuff that got painted looks really good.
Well, thank you, thank you. I'm nervous about painting them. Haven't painted anything with hair yet. But this is Mournfang Cavalry, 2 models, heavy armor, Iron Fists, a standard bearer. The guy with the great weapon, the polearm, will be my standard bearer.
Okay.
But this is just a regular guy. He is not
champion.
Not champion, no musician, nothing.
All right, next up.
Here's my Iron Guts. I've found a lot of victory, a lot of success in running them 9 deep.
I mean, 9 total?
9 total, excuse me, yes. And that is mega fun. Iron Guts do have full command, musician and champ, just because I like the guy with the bear trap.
Yeah.
I know that they have great weapons. I am using Ogres to fill in the blanks here. I have much more Ogres than I actually do Iron Guts. But
Right.
Iron Guts I enjoy fielding more. They do have a standard bearer. The character here is my Butcher. He does have a great weapon. He is a level 2, but it is the Hunter model, which is a really cool looking model.
Yeah, and the Hunter's so bad that I feel like you want to use it for something.
I do. I really do. I didn't mention, if you pan over here, this is obviously a Gorger serving as my BSB. Matt and I are talking about attaching a flag to that left hand just because that looked cool as junk.
Yep.
More on that later. I do have a unit of lead belchers. They have full available command, which is just a champ and a musician. They can't carry a standard, of course. The fire belly is here. Really, I haven't found a very practical use for him, of course, unless things are flammable. But he is fun to use, and I think it's just a really amazing looking model. He has an extra weapon. He's a level 2. Of course, he has his 2 spells there. And my general is a Slaughtermaster. You can tell I've ripped Scrag off of the base, and just because it's fun, I've attached 2 barrels to his backside there.
Oh.
Because
yeah, those are looking pretty good.
Well, thank you. The pewter model actually doesn't glue together very well, so there's actually a big gap back there, and I don't have any green stuff, and so I thought the barrels would look really good.
All right.
But the Slaughtermaster is a level 4. He has an Iron Fist as well. His spells, he's doing Beast Lore. He's taking, and I just wrote down single words here, but he took Transformation of Kadan, Wissan's Wild Form, Amber Spear, and Savage Beast. Firebelly has Fireball and the Flaming Sword.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that at all.
Good. And then my Butcher right here, he took Toothcracker and Troll Guts. And this is my army. Matt actually gets to go first, I believe, don't you?
No, we haven't rolled to see who wins yet.
Oh, okay.
I was actually going to do that one on camera.
Fantastic.
Our inaugural battle report, actually, we did that, and so I thought that maybe we would. Oh, I keep losing you. All right, I'm gonna point it down here.
All right.
Yeah, around the hill. All right.
Around the hill.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
5 and 5. And
All right, I win because I got the +1.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Well, we'll meet you guys again at after my turn 1.
All right.
All right, guys, this is after my turn 1. You can see I moved up over here kind of cautiously. I'm just a little over 18 out from the giant, so he shouldn't be able to charge me. The knights moved up, the harpies moved over here, and I just remembered we didn't do the sorcerer's portal. We'll get to it later.
Yeah.
They moved up. I realized that this peg hero was misdeployed all the way over here, so I flew him 20 inches over. I moved my mage out, tried to fireball his giant. He dispel scrolled me. And then with these guys, I fired at that Noblar unit, trying to get to the juicy lead belchers there behind, and I killed 2 Noblars with 48 shots. I mean, I was hitting on 6s, but I was kind of hoping I'd get 5. Anyway, that's my turn 1. We'll see you after Chris's turn 1.
All right, folks. Similar to Matt's turn 1, my bottom of turn 1, I kind of brought everybody forward a little bit, really protecting my heavier units with my trappers here, because of course if they are charged, everyone in the charging units must make a dangerous terrain test for everyone. 1's wound. I did dispel the fully powered up fireball from his wizard on my giant. I was afraid of that. That was my dispel scroll. Marched everyone up. I did do some shooting with my 3 poisonous man-eaters up front against his Hydra. Wounded once on my auto 6, and he saved on a 6-up save, shoot me in the face.
Because my Hydra is the boss.
That's what's up. I did lose 2 Noblar casualties.
Yep.
Sad face. I got my spell off really well. I gave them flaming attacks, forgive me the name.
Flaming Sword of Ruin.
There it is. And I scored 2 wounds on his crossbowman here.
Yep.
And I think other than moving, that was the extent of that turn. I did want to show you something I'm a little proud of as a noob player. We did build a table here out of 3/4 inch plywood. I've cut it in the middle right now. It is 4 by 8. It is 8 long. I have a hinge in the middle, but over here we gave ourselves 2 feet of table space. You see we have all of our crap and our snacks and our turn counter and our dice, of course our casualties as well. And that's just kind of fun and allows us to not have to walk from table to counter to keep getting stuff.
You say that, but let me show them that I still have my stuff sitting over here.
Yes.
So
fewer people were walking back and forth. Success. We're going to do Matt's top of turn 2, and we'll be back with you soon. This is my friend Matt. He's going to tell you about the top of turn 2.
I did some moving, had lots of charges. This guy tried to charge the Saber-Tusk, who fled. He fled through the Mournfangs, who passed their panic. These guys tried to charge the Mournfangs. They failed. I redirected with the Harpies, which actually, now that I look at that, that's terrible, but that's okay. As you'll see, the rest of my turn has been pretty shitty too. These guys moved. These guys fired. We ran off the lead belchers and then fired. This unit fired at the wizard, who we managed to sneak 1 wound through. In combat, I charged my Dragon Lord and my BSB into the giant. Where's the dragon? Well, we had 10 attacks before the giant attacked. We did 2 wounds to it before the giant attacked. The dragon went simul and did 2 more wounds, so he's as good as the other 3 people in that combat combined. The giant rolled thump with club. I failed my initiative test. He did 6 wounds. Dragon dead. Luckily, I still won combat. But now the dragon is dead, my general's way out on the bumfuck nowhere, and my BSB, who I was hoping would get free, is not. And then looking at all this other stuff that's happening, I think I have made some very poor decisions, other than just that one. But I need to follow my first rule. First rule is always roll better, noob, and I have failed in that one. All right, we'll see you after Chris's turn. See if he can capitalize on some of the mistakes I made. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, this is the bottom of turn 2. I had a whole bunch of charges here. One of the first things that happened is I took this unit of Noblars and charged them into the Hydra so that my man-eaters could make their way into the Harpies, as you see, are no longer there.
I see the Noblars didn't fare too well against the Hydra either.
They did not even a single wound, but that was to be expected. I really just needed them to move.
Okay.
When I brought the man-eaters up into the Harpies, my third charge, which was going to be the Mournfang into these elves here, could no longer happen.
Yeah, you were like a centimeter off.
It was a very, very small fraction of an inch there, and so they did just fail charge. Once the man-eaters destroyed the Harpies, you can see they actually got 2 wounds on them. They were very, very lucky. The only 2 that didn't.
On your champion, nonetheless. Those Harpies were mad.
Actually, very, very good. I need to put that on my champion. That's where my champion is. But they couldn't reform. I wanted them to face the Hydra for obvious reasons, and they couldn't because they were just too close right here. So I went ahead and tried to do the overrun into these guys. They failed their overrun. They just didn't reach them.
Yeah, they were an inch or 2 out, it looks like.
Very unfortunate.
Yep. Story of their lives this turn.
So I've got 2 guys over here that are fleeing. I have a Saber-Tusk over here that likely won't make it because he can't use the BSB. He can't use Inspiring Presence. And so he's probably gone next turn unless he rallies on that 4. These guys rally on the 5. My Lead Belchers took some casualties last turn, but they did rally. They're back here. Mook brought my general over here out of the way so that he would not be attacked so much by the shooting, but he would be closer to shoot stuff. Noblars charged into this unit here. They destroyed them, overrun into the Saber-Tusk, who has them tied up for now. These Noblars did move, did throw a few things at this unit here. Can you see one guy is missing?
Yep.
The Noblars celebrate and rejoice. That's about all they're good for anyway. And I'm pretty sure that's what's up. You do see the absence of the giant.
Yep.
The general did take off his last 2 wounds with minimal effort.
Yeah, the general did 4 wounds this turn by himself, which I kind of want to slap him for, but
yeah,
that's the way it works.
Had a whole lot of fantastic combat opportunity. It didn't go as well as I wanted it to, and now I'm actually in a very, very bad position as his Cold One Knights may very well give it to me up the butt.
In fairness, you also have to worry about the Hydra and the BSB that can also make some long charges. Your Mournfangs, the flank of your Mournfangs is actually looking pretty juicy there for me. But we'll see what happens at the end of my turn 3.
Here comes the start of turn 3.
All right, guys. This is after the end of my turn 3. In movement, I backed up with these guys. Moved my mage in here. They got fireballed off in the magic phase in case I forget that. I ridiculously charged this guy who was here, charged the front of some man-eaters. These guys charged their flank. The Hydra could just corner in and he charged. My BSB flew over here. These guys charged the Mournfangs in the flank. The Mournfangs fled and rolled 4 for their flee distance, which means I needed 9 to catch them. And up came the 9 on the charge. And so the Mournfangs are gone. And in combat, or in Magic, I put 3 more wounds on the General with a full-powered Fireball.
2 more wounds on the General.
Okay. Did he already have?
He already had 1. Yep.
Oh, he's only at 3 wounds. Okay.
He currently has 3 showing.
Okay. My General ran over here to get in the fight. She jumped in here to avoid getting picked off. These guys, like I said, moved back and fired at the Iron Guts and killed 1 and put another wound on 1. And in combat, as you can see, totally trashed the Man-Eaters. I sacrificed my champion to keep him from getting 6 attacks, poison at strength 5 on my Knights. This guy statistically should have taken half a wound and took 2, so I was kind of pissed about that, but luckily he survived the BSB's return attacks. And so he's sitting on 1 wound now. I'm going to have to be careful with him. Other than that, everything's looking really good. If I break 1 more banner, because he's got 4. He's got the Nobblers have 1, these guys have 1, and that's his General for 2. If I break 1 more, I get 8 points for the scenario, and that's a big chunk of the way towards winning this game. So even though I lost my Dragon, I was really mad, said some dirty words. I feel like I'm getting a comeback because of his movement problems in the last charge phase. So we'll get back and see if he can't pull this game out at the bottom of turn 3.
This is my current graveyard. Makes me cry a little bit, all the painted models sitting over there dead. See you at the bottom of 3. Okay, guys, things have taken a turn for the worse.
They were pretty bad before, though.
They were when I failed my overrun with the Man-Eaters from the Harpies. I've set myself to be charged from 3 directions. Also, when I failed my charge with the Mournfang back in turn 2, that set them up to be charged from the flank. I tried to flee and then rally, which would be easy to do with my BSB and General so nearby, but they didn't flee far enough and they will run down immediately, so that was a heavy casualty. However, something Matt failed to mention in the top of 3 is that I actually used my Hell Harp with my Iron Guts who are here. They were here-ish earlier. And you see his wizard is here.
And it was like 14 inches away, right?
It was. I needed a 3 or better to make him miscast and lose the spell dice and all that junk. Or lose power dice, rather. And I rolled a 2. Which was a perfect position for the Hell Harp, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was just bad luck. And that's when I put the 2 wounds on your General as well.
Yeah, he's got 3 there. But what happened at the bottom of 3? I tried to charge into these guys to get myself another flag. They got away. I of course didn't make the charge. Did lose my Saber Tusk over here. He ran off. I'll never rally these guys. They'll rally on double 1s, even though I did triple 1s earlier on another roll.
When you want them, it'll never happen, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I do have my Nobblars here. They are of course trappers, so hopefully they will deter this bulk of people trying to kill my Iron Guts. You did use a magic item that caused me to miscast.
Yeah, I have Ring of Hotech on my BSB, so he tried Troll Guts, and instead he rolled double 2s. I used the Dispel Scroll, and then he got sucked into the void and killed
the wizard.
Killed the wizard and 2 other Iron Guts. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was my butcher and 2 of his best friends.
Yeah.
And then I had 1 die left. I tried to get Amber Spear off to get this last wound on this fellow here. So that you know, if you're watching, Matt does wounds remaining with the hearts. I do wounds showing with dice. if you're trying to count for us.
It's confusing as mess.
It is a little bit, but it's our system.
Yeah, we know how it works.
So we've got Iron Guts here, 6 left. Things are really looking terrible for me.
Yeah, in this frame right now is all of Chris's army.
Yes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4.1 units.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, now they're all in the frame.
0.1, there they are.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
About to start turn 4. We'll see if I last through turn 4. I expect to be completely done by turn 5, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
All right, guys. On my turn 4, everything went amazingly well. I tried to charge with these guys and failed into the flank of the Iron Guts, who have disappeared. These guys didn't move, but into the front of the Iron Guts, I charged this unit, and I charged my BSB. The BSB only barely fit by like the size of a gnat's jockstrap. He was like bait. He was like catty corner up on a base, but he wasn't touching any model bases. He was touching movement tray, and so we let him in there. And then this guy over here charged the general because him and his steed went first. And so I thought that I had a good chance since he only had 2 wounds left. In the rest of my movement, I rallied. These guys came back. My general moved over here. In Magic, I rolled double 6s. She was within 12 inches of my own ring of Hotep. And I decided, you know what? It's worth the miscast risk. This unit was within 12 inches of the BSB and the general, so it was leadership 10 with the reroll. Even if I panicked, I probably wasn't going to run off the table. And that unit, all it's going to do for me is capture terrain pieces for the objectives, so it didn't matter since it had failed. So I picked up all 12 dice, rolled them, got double 6s, did 11 hits on his lead belchers, killed one, put 2 wounds on the other. Of course the fire belly didn't take any damage. And then they ran like that. And then you can see what happened from combat. Broke this unit of Iron Guts, only the one guy remains. Killed his general with the Pegasus attacks. And this unit of Noblars broke. About the only thing I did wrong was I had set up perfectly for my Hydra to get a breath weapon on these guys, hit all 9 at strength 5. And I just, in the shooting phase, I just went, oh, nothing to shoot, and just went on by. So luckily these Noblars failed, and hopefully I can get them to run off the board or something, since they're only leadership 6 to rally with their musician. Anyway,
you won the banner race as well.
Yep, I got the with the death of his general. I got 8 points for the banner race. Give me 1 second, and let me find that sheet that tells us what else. Controlling the most terrain pieces. Right now, it's probably going to look like, since this is the top of 4, I've got 2 turns and 1 banner, 2 banner, 3 banner, 4 banner, 5 banners. I'm probably going to control way more terrain pieces since he only has a single banner on the table. My guinea pigs, which are these guys, are most likely going to survive till the end of the game. That'll give me 4 points. And if I can kill these Noblars, I'll get the other 2 points from him having no core units left on the table, which will actually get me a 20-0 win. So we'll see what happens on his turn 4.
Well, it's been about 35 seconds since our last update. What's happened is the Noblars over here have skedaddled away right over and through the Sorcerer's Portal.
Yep.
They said...
Which, by the way, just out of curiosity, just for the curious, it has cast Wild Form on this unit, and the people missing from this unit are from the various fireballs that have been thrown at it.
Actually, a Noblar got 1 guy.
Okay, yes,
just to point that out.
Okay.
And that makes me happy. These guys are, of course, running a little further. This guy is, of course, running a little further. That is 1 wound showing on him.
Right.
I rallied my Lead Belcher and Fire Belly. He dispelled my Mega Fireball, just trying to grab 1 flag in desperation here. And then I casted Flaming Sword of Ruin on myself to no avail, because he is about to bring his entire army, save 1 unit that I've destroyed today, right into my last Wizard and last Lead Belcher. So this is the top of 5, turn counter for the win, and we'll see if I have anyone standing at after the top of 5.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. Top of turn 5. I triple charged. I charged once with my BSB, who actually couldn't have moved back here, so excuse me. Once with these guys and once with these guys to push his last Iron Gut off the table. My Pegasus hero there at the bottom charged the Fire Belly and Champion. And my Hydra looked at his Noblars. So in the shooting phase, the Hydra blew off the last Noblars with his breath weapon. And in the close combat phase, I challenged. He accepted with the fire belly. I did 4 wounds to him between the 3 attacks from my guy, the Master Riding, and the 2 from the Steed. So that was the fire belly gone. The last lead belcher couldn't attack, so I ran them off. So that's a 20-0 victory to me. I control the most terrain because I controlled this one. And if we went on to turn 6, I would also, control more. I destroyed all of his core units, obviously. I broke him first, obviously. And my guinea pig, survived the game. So that's this game. That is, what's it called? If it goes boom, vroom, or zoom, we're testing it out for Redstone Rumble. And if I can, I'll go right on into end of the game thoughts. Realistically, the biggest thing that hampered Chris was the turn where his Mournfangs couldn't complete the charge because he maximized, not incorrectly, but disadvantageously with the Man-Eaters. And so the Mournfangs failed, and then the Man-Eaters needed a 7, or they needed a 9 to get that overrun, so it was a little iffy, but they do have Swift Stride. So those 2 things compounded to have me take out both of his big combat blocks early in the game, after the devastation of my dragon being gone and my general being stranded. Yeah, that's my bowl of lunch, and then some of the stuff he's destroyed. The only points he got, were we doing victory points, would be the 55 points for a unit of Harpies. So, as for me, I know I need to deploy my BSB, who had the Ring of Hotech, a little bit better. I know I need to check, and Chris has taught me to check my charge lanes early rather than later, and just kind of fudge it. And as far as the level 2 with the Dispel Scroll goes, I thought that she worked really well in this game, especially considering the Ring of Hotech. I was able to force that miscast, but she did fine on defense. So I think I'm going to keep playing this list and see what happens. Chris, you want to do?
Yeah, give me a little bit of swing that camera around.
Oh, we're real professional.
Fantastic. Yeah, hey, I am relatively new. Ogres is my first list. I only started about 6 months ago. I don't attribute that to this loss. I do think it was a disadvantageous charge and maximizing against the Harpies. The Man-Eaters just stepped out of the way. The Mournfang couldn't get by him to complete the charge that needed to take place over there. I set myself up to be flanked and reared, and it was just really, really ugly. I believe that had I maximized properly and had I made the charge with the Mournfang, who are an amazing unit by default, that I would be sitting better at least. I'm not sure that I was set up in such a way that would have brought me any victory. I do believe I'm set up in such a way that it would have possibly prevented a 20-0 victory and a turn 5 table. I'm still learning a lot. I have a lot of questions, a lot of tables. Thinking ahead is something that I'm working on. Prioritizing magic spells, fainting with different magic spells, something I'm working on. But I'm going to try the list again and we'll kind of hammer out some pieces. I used a lot of my magic items well, just unfortunate in the roll.
Yeah, that Hellheart was a big deal as well.
Yeah.
That put some wounds. That really started your lead belchers running again, which was a big help to me.
Yeah.
Keeping my guinea pigs alive. Hey, let me ask you a question real quick, and this is because this is a pretty different list for me, I think I can say. How do you feel about this list of Dark Elves? Is it better or worse than the other lists that I run?
You know, I'm more afraid of the Stabby Dagger when you've used that in the past, and having 2 wizards, and some of the other lores are more threatening. I'm just not very threatened by the fire lore. I felt safer. I really felt like it was a combat-oriented game with your decision to run a fire lore, a fire wizard. Of course, I'm using 3. Just because a lot of my decisions are informed by preference. I enjoy running a giant. I enjoy running a fire belly.
Well, your giant did fine, realistically.
Sure.
I don't think that you could have expected much more out of the giant.
So we'll call it learning. We're about to play another game on the same day.
Yep.
Probably try some of the other scenarios for the Huntsville, Alabama tourney coming up in September. It is currently June, so we have some time to get our acts together.
Yep.
And maybe put some flags with some of these people who don't have flags. We're about to start it again, and we'll see you in the shoe.
All right. Bye.